What will it be like to visit Phobos, one of Mars's moons? First things first, let's talk about some of the moon's features. Phobos is one of two moons of Mars and is about 22 kilometers in diameter. Yes, you heard that right, it's only 22 kilometers. Our own moon is more than 150 times larger than this. Even the Grand Canyon on Earth is larger than this moon. I guess you could say that Phobos is like a baby moon, even compared to Earth's moon. Now, Phobos is irregularly shaped, so it's not a sphere with a diameter of 22 kilometers. That's just a rough approximation of the size. Now, this is very interesting because this is probably the smallest celestial body I have ever talked about on this channel. Phobos orbits Mars at a distance of 6,000 kilometers from Mars' surface. That is extremely close. To put that into perspective, our moon is about 384,000 kilometers away from Earth. Phobos is 64 times closer to its planet. Now that is a very close relationship. So close, in fact, that Phobos is actually going to get destroyed in 40 million years. Now, what will happen? Well, it's been speculated that Phobos is going to get ripped apart by the tidal forces between Mars and itself. Phobos is getting closer and closer to Mars, about 2 centimeters closer per year. At one point, Phobos will experience so much stress that it will get ripped apart and may even form a ring around Mars, similar to Saturn but not as prominent. If the ring won't occur, then the pieces of Phobos will just collide with Mars. So that's sad. Phobos is doomed in about 40 million years, but that's a long ways away when we think about human civilizations. I think if we have the technology and supplies, we should go to Phobos, even if it's just for a little bit, to explore and to get into contact with the moon before it gets wiped away. I know it's just a moon, but for some reason, I feel as if we need to get in touch with it before it passes. So let's see what it's like to actually be on Phobos. How long will it take to get to Phobos? A rough approximation would be a 8-month trip, and of course that depends on the spacecraft and mass it contains. Due to the density of the moon, its ground or surface will not be as hard as you think. You will be able to walk on it, but you will soon realize that it's not as solid as a rock. Temperatures on Phobos range from -4 degrees Celsius to -112 degrees Celsius. Phobos really has a tough time holding heat, mostly due to the fact that it has no atmosphere. On the surface, there are lots and lots of craters and grooves, as expected. And since the moon is very close to Mars, you'll see Mars take up a large portion of the sky. Imagine clearly seeing Mars and its details in the sky over you. Now that will be an incredible view. Phobos completes a full orbit around Mars in about 7.5 hours. Only 7.5. That is incredibly fast. Now let's talk about its gravity because it's insane. Its gravity is about 1,721 times less than Earth's. So take your weight on Earth and divide by 1,721. That is your new weight on Phobos. This means that if you are 100 kilograms on Earth, you'll weigh about 58 grams on Phobos. That is ridiculous, but that's facts. With a single jump, you will easily be able to jump over buildings. That seems like a lot of fun, but be careful because a single jump will finish in a long time, like even 20 minutes. Imagine jumping, expecting to go high and then come back down shortly, but instead you jump and it takes you 20 minutes to get back to the ground. All I'm saying is, be prepared to chill in the sky for a while. Even if you feel uncomfortable and want to get back to the ground, there's nothing you can do but wait until the gravity takes you back to the ground. The escape velocity of Phobos is about 40 kilometers per hour. What that means is, that's all it takes to escape the gravity of Phobos. So technically, you can drive off of Phobos and get to Mars. Yep. You also heard that right. If you make a ramp and drive a vehicle at highway speeds, you may be able to actually escape the gravity of Phobos and just fly into the sky until you get to space. Hopefully, you go towards Mars and not into deep space, because if you did, well, you'll probably die. But even if you aim at Mars, How are you going to enter its atmosphere and land on it with a car without dying? Yeah, that's not going to work either. So here's our conclusion. Do not try to drive off or fly off Phobos for fun, because you will most likely die somewhere other than Phobos. And I'm saying this like you're going to get to Phobos next year, and we all know that's not the case. So yeah, I keep have to remind myself this is a theoretical question, but let's move on. Phobos may not have many interesting features like lakes, rivers, and auroras in the sky, but it is a moon that will no longer exist in about 40 million years. So what do you think? If we reach a point where we can visit Phobos easily, should we go or not go? Let me know. I hope you learned something new and interesting today, and even if you didn't, I hope you enjoyed something about this video. I mean, what can I say? I just want you to enjoy yourself. Take care and see you in the next video.